welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you guys are here because I'm actually gonna start a new segment on my channel. It's gonna be like girl talk advice, just everyday things that we all go through. And I've actually been wanting to do this since the day I've started my channel, but because I don't know, like when I first started my channel, I was kind of like in this mind frame of, oh, people only want to see this kind of stuff or this kind of stuff. So some of the content I made was more about views rather than it was from my heart. And I mean, it's real stuff, it's real content that I live it and stuff, but it really wasn't like I didn't wake up like, oh, I want a hair channel or I want a makeup channel. It was more so like I really want to vlog and show my journey because I know that one day I'm somebody, but I just know one day it's going to be worth it. Like people are going to go back and watch all this stuff. So I really just want like a vlog channel and like sharing my mindset with you guys. So I'm going to do that a lot more. I'm still going to have like hair and makeup and just random stuff because I can't pick one thing. Like that's not who I am, So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you just for everything. I'm so happy for where we are. We're making so much progress. I still have a lot of growing to do, but so my first girl talk video, advice video, whatever you want to call it, because it's really not just for women. And I don't want to be that person where it's just like, oh, girl talk, this is just for women. Like, so I don't know. I might have to change that part up, but I just want to tell people that they need to value themselves. It's so important. And it touched home to me because I didn't used to value myself. So I'm an empath, everyone's talking about empaths and all this stuff. And I'm definitely one. I get with it. Like, I feel people's energy, or when I see somebody who's like me or who used to be like me, I have a lot of empathy for them because I'm like, probably subconsciously, I'm just like, oh, I know what it's like to feel like that or like be that low. And, I feel for them. And I know, like, I've came up from not valuing myself and settling for so many things to seeing how valuable I am. And it's not like, materialistic things don't make you valuable because a lot of people are like, especially in society, we value ourselves based off how many people are following us, or how many comments do we have on our pictures? Do people like me more than they like this person? How many friends you have, what kind of car you're driving, clothes you're wearing, just whatever is going on at the time in society. That's basically how people value themselves. And the part of devaluing yourself starts at a young age. It depends on how you were raised by your parents, your mom and dad. And like for me, I know I didn't have a dad growing up, and then me and my mom, we were never really like close like that, and she didn't talk to me about a lot of stuff. So a lot of things that happened in life, like when I got my first boyfriend and I got cheated on and I started my period, I didn't really like know where to go because I grew up with my mom's side of the family and I'm mixed, so it was her white family and it was my white family. And we just didn't have like that communication thing. Like I have kind of like a toxic family, so everyone's just like yelling and screaming at each other and pointing the finger at each other why everything's so effed up. And then the kids grow up and we just be like, well, we're here. And so basically like, from a young age, I never had a father figure or any type of man telling me I was beautiful and how to respect myself and treat myself. And as women, we want that male, like that feeling. Like I don't know what it is, I can't really like explain it, but I can only imagine what it's like for a woman, a daughter, to have her father in her life and be close with him. Like I'm sure that's an amazing feeling. Like a man's energy is just very, very beautiful and strong And women need that just as much as, you know, men need women in their energy, like their mom. And so that's why a lot of men walk around like hating women because, and I see it like, because when I was in Atlanta and I was taking the bus one time, this lady, she was like smacking the out of her son, like just hitting him, and just like disrespecting him as a child. Like, yes, he's a child, he's crying, whatever. That's because of you. And just like hit him. And so I'm sure there's so many instances of that and other things that boys and men go through with their mothers that make them maybe not like black women if they're black, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I've been through a lot of my life. I've tried drugs. I've been in things I shouldn't have been in because I didn't have that guidance, and I was acting out because I was hurting inside. And I didn't realize I was hurting inside until I left what I knew, because I lived in Arizona, so I was kind of just like hanging out with all my friends and drinking and going out and trying this and trying that. And it wasn't until I was alone and I couldn't do those things where I felt it like, okay, every time I get alone, I just want to go out, I want to party, I want to be around people. What am I trying to run away from? So that's what helped me realize a lot of the stuff I did was out of emotional pain and acting out, and I didn't even know, and we don't know. And so like I've settled a lot. I've let people hurt me, and I'll chase them. Like I'll chase these people, or I used to, I should say, chase people who would hurt me. Like people who rejected me, I guess I wanted so bad for them to accept me that I would chase them and keep letting them hurt me. Or, you know, I would be around men who clearly didn't see value in women. Like they just call women bees and hoes, and you know, they just talk down on women. But those are the kind of guys I had crushes on and stuff. And it just, like, looking back, I'm like, why? You know, why did I do that? And you know, like, especially with my career now, I'm taking it more serious, like as far as modeling and doing things. Like I'm not, you know, I did the free stuff for a few months, like free modeling and free this and free that. But like, I'm like, you know what, I'm a beautiful girl and I have value. Like people need to pay me to do this, or I need to be getting some type of benefit. So that's done because I value myself. I value my time, and I know that if I put in the effort, it's gonna work. And so I just want to share that because I see a lot of women and men like not valuing themselves and like talking down on themselves, and you know, letting people treat them whatever way because maybe they're scared to speak up for themselves and defend themselves. They don't like confrontation. And I used to be that way, but like I be ready now. Like anytime, like I used to be so scared to stick up for myself, and I would just let people walk over me. And now I be ready because I just want to defend myself so bad because I never did, you know. And you can't be scared to do that because that person is wrong. Like if anyone's disrespecting you and they're out of pocket, you're not comfortable, they're stepping over your boundaries, you have all the right. There's no reason why you should be scared. And you know, a lot of women stay in abusive relationships. And okay, let me not even just say women. A lot of people stay in abusive relationships because, you know I did, and that's why I'm saying this stuff, so maybe I'm projecting, but I feel like because I did stayed in a relationship because I was like, oh, you know, I'm never gonna find somebody I'm this comfortable with, or nobody's gonna love me. Like things we beat ourselves up about, you know. So you gotta value yourself and your time, and you cannot value yourself if you even had a good life. Like some people just, I don't know, you know, but yeah, like value yourself. You are worthy. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you have, or anything. Like if society wasn't here and was the way it was, we would all be equal, and we all are equal. But people, you know, ran with the power they have and took it and made it into what it is now. But at the end of the day, when we die, we're equal. And what matters on here is how you treated people, and you know, like what are you leaving behind when you die? It doesn't matter, you know, how many people liked your picture or anything. So you got to do stuff from the heart, you know, from your heart, and things that make you happy. And if people are hurting you, even if it's your family and stuff, you might walk away, you might have to be lonely, but at least you're like, I'm better than this, and I don't deserve, you know, this kind of energy. And sometimes it is the people closest to you. I would know. I did it. And like looking back, like it was so hard. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna move back home and stuff because I couldn't take being alone. And but I'm glad I did. I became such a strong woman, and so many things changed while I was in solitude. Like, I just stopped messing with people who didn't execute the energy that I said I wanted. I didn't deal with certain type of men. I wrote a list down of the type of man I wanted, and if any guy I talked to missed any of that, he was out of there. And yes, it was lonely, and I would come home drunk from the club and be like looking through my phone to see if I could hit somebody up, because you know that's what a void will do to you. And I didn't have anybody because I totally stopped that. So it made me have to deal and face with myself, and you know, stop using people and things and all that stuff for an escape. And that's not value being yourself either. So you just really have to love yourself, because people will walk all over you. And sometimes the people we attract, you know, what we are is what we attract. So if you're kind of like weak and you're scared to stick up for yourself, you're gonna attract people who walk all over that, because God wants to show us. Like, people don't understand God and how God talks to us, and you know, people just like blame God, like, oh well, if there's God, well, why is this world so bad, this and that. It's so much deeper than I can even get to right now. But you gotta know that you come here, you get programmed to believe things. Some people believe the world is great and they're just lovable and stuff because they came from a good family, and other people who come from damaged families don't find value in themselves and talk bad about themselves in their own head. All these people who never felt good about themselves projected their anger and their hurt onto somebody who was weaker than them. Or it wasn't even that they were weaker, you're kinder. Like me, I'm a kind person. I didn't want to fight, I didn't want confrontation. So, you know, people maybe saw me as weaker, just somebody that they could like beat up. So, you know, growing up I was bullied, and you know, girls would like just do a lot of stuff or say stuff. But I'm like, you know what? Deep down inside, that's how they really felt about themselves, and they put that energy into you. And then you grow up and you walk around like talking to yourself negatively, saying all these things that other people feel about themselves to yourself. It was never about you. It was always about them and how they felt about themselves. And you know, we just like let people walk over us. Or I'm not saying everybody, but you know, if you resonate with this, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? And you're better than that. You know, you're better than that. You deserve the world. You deserve the world. There's no certain type of person who deserves the world, you know. You just have to really believe it and change your mindset. And once you change your mindset, everything changes. So I just love playing my hair. Like, wow, my hair really looks like this. I haven't shaved in like 2-3 days, so don't mind that. Value yourself. There's so many things that go into valuing yourself though, like the type of people you talk to, the type of friends you have, you know, what you put in your body, what you say to yourself. Just be kind to yourself. You're worthy, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're smart, you are somebody, and nobody should be able to tell you different. Stop dealing with things that don't make you happy. And if you're insecure and scared to be confident, work on that. Work on that. I have social anxiety, so this video is really long, and I'm in my head right now. Like, this stuff is hard for me, but you know what? I gotta start somewhere. I'm gonna show my journey. Like I always say, I'm gonna show my journey. This isn't easy for me either. I am so smart and intellectual, but sometimes, like, when I actually get in front of the camera, it just goes away. But like, me and my fiance will have hours talks, and like I articulate myself just fine. So, you know, you guys get to grow with me. So that's all I wanted to tell you guys, is just, you know, value yourself. And, you know, share some of my story. Maybe you can relate. If you have any questions, you want me to like keep elaborating, let me know. Comment, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in my next video.